In August 2024, Korea's exports reached a record high of $57.08 billion, the largest amount ever recorded in August. Korea's export volume has increased for 11 consecutive months, recording the highest export growth rate in the first half of 2024 among major World Trade Organization (WTO) countries. Some forecast that, if this trend continues, Korea could surpass Japan and become one of the top 5 exporters in the world for the first time. Today, let's learn about the history of Korea's exports. Korea's export history can be broadly divided into pre-industrialization and post-industrialization, and the latter can be divided into light industry exports and heavy industry exports. Industrialization refers to a country's economy and industry shifting from primary industries such as agriculture and mining to secondary industries that process goods in factories. In the 1950s, before industrialization, Korea was in a very poor state after the Korean War, and exports were mostly raw materials. In the 50s, Korea's biggest export was tungsten, which was used to make automobile parts, and other minerals and agricultural products accounted for the majority of exports, such as raw silk, threads from cocoons, graphite, and seaweed. In the 1960s, Korea gradually entered industrialization, known as the light industry export. Period. The term literally means manufacturing. Lightweight. Goods like clothing, paper, wigs, and toys. Light industries do not require sophisticated technology or knowledge and can be started with relatively little capital. In the 1960s, Korea's exports were led by the wig industry. At the time, Korea was one of the poorest in the world, and the low wages of its workers made it possible to offer cheap wigs to the global market. Other exports included cotton textiles, clothing, and synthetic fibers. In the 1970s, Korea entered the heavy industry period in earnest. At that time, Korea realized it would be unable to expand its economic scale further if its industrial system was built upon light industry, so it began investing in heavy industry. As the term indicates, heavy industry is a large-scale industry that requires considerable technology and knowledge, such as steel, ships, and automobiles. Pohang Steel, now POSCO, is a notable example of it. In addition to steel, Korea has achieved milestones in ships and petrochemicals, entering the era of $10 billion in exports in 1977.